Hi there, my name is Caroline.choi. I'm a registered foreign lawyer here in Hong Kong. I'm registered in California, USA. And today we're going to talk about prenuptial agreements, or premarital agreements as they're also referred to. Basically, it's important to remember that a premarital or prenuptial agreement is a contract. It's a contract between two people in anticipation of marriage, but also on the basis that in the event that there is a divorce, that you'll have terms set out in a prenuptial agreement so that the two of you know exactly what will happen in the event of a divorce. Now, it's important to remember that with prenuptial agreements that not all terms can be included. For example, when it comes to children, usually we don't include that in a premarital or prenuptial agreement. And the reason for this is because many times down the road, there are many changes in circumstances, and a lot of times with children, things are always changing. So it's not something that the courts will want in a premarital or prenuptial agreement. So what can be included in a prenuptial agreement? In a prenuptial agreement, most of the time it relates to the division of assets or debts in the event of divorce. Another thing that might be addressed in a prenuptial agreement is maintenance. So in the event that the two of you decide to divorce, what's going to happen? Is one of you going to owe the other person maintenance? That's a question that can be addressed in your prenuptial agreement. One of the key questions that people have with respect to a prenuptial agreement is whether or not it is enforceable in Hong Kong. Now, what the courts will do is they'll look at one of the key cases, the leading cases on prenuptial agreements, called Radmacher. And this case is a UK-based case where the court basically said that they will give effect to prenuptial agreements, but this is on the basis that it was freely entered into with an understanding of its implications. Later in Hong Kong, in a case called SPH, the Court of Appeal basically said that they would give effect to the principles in Radmacher, meaning that they are the law here in Hong Kong. So what does that mean for you? Does that mean you can go out, get a prenuptial agreement, and it's ironclad? No. It's not similar to the laws, for example, in California, USA, where the laws are pretty established when it comes to prenuptial agreements. Here in Hong Kong, the courts will take it into consideration, but that's what it means. Take it into consideration. The courts will look at the circumstances of the case, how the two of you entered into the agreement, whether there was proper disclosures, was there enough time between the signing of the contract for each party to have the legal advice that they require in order to make that informed decision on whether or not to sign a prenuptial agreement. It is therefore important for you to always speak with the solicitor in advance of signing a prenuptial agreement, because proper disclosures must be made. There must be sufficient time between the time of signing and the time of review. So I would always recommend that you speak to a solicitor. One thing before we go is that I want to clarify the difference between a prenuptial agreement and a postnuptial agreement. A prenuptial agreement is in anticipation of marriage, and in the event there's a divorce, you have an agreement in place. A postnuptial agreement, on the other hand, is when you're already married and the two of you, you and your spouse, want to clarify some terms in the event of divorce. So it's very important that you speak with a solicitor to know what options are best for you and best suited for you and your spouse or the person you intend to marry. My name is Caroline.choi. I'm a registered foreign lawyer here in Hong Kong. If you have any questions about prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements, or any type of agreement such as that, please do not hesitate to give me a call at the number listed below.